Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with a big roadmap update. Alpha 4.0 gutted was what I saw on my feed this morning. There's a lot of doom and gloom about this, but it's not that bad. It is still lame, however. Some important features have been delayed, but not by much, it seems. Let's talk about that and the extensive updates to the outlining of Star Citizen 1.0, with its features now being laid bare. Firstly, though, CIG have added some of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo ship bits for Alpha 3.24.3 to the roadmap. So this is coming later in November 22nd. In fact, that's when the IAE should start. We've got the MISC Starlancer Max, which is the Super Freelancer multi-crew freighter version. We've got the Anvil Hornet Tracker Mark II and Ghost Mark II, so the Pathfinder and Stealth Fighter respectively, as well as the RSI Polaris Corvette. That is pretty exciting for me, especially the Corvette. I'm very much looking forward to the Polaris. There might be some other ships and vehicles that turn up at the IAE, even if it's just a concept sale of them at that stage. And we don't know if the building ships and vehicles are also going to go on sale as well. We'll have to wait and see. But Alpha 4.0 has seen some feature delays. CIG said, upon review of the support required for server meshing, pyro, and general stability of 4.0, we've made the choice to temporarily remove several deliverables from the 4.0 release to free up necessary engineering bandwidth to prepare for launch. This list includes engineering gameplay, life support, fire hazards, fire extinguishers, charge and drain, and the transit refactor, as well as solar bursts, which are the damaging pulses that come from Pyro's star. We're aware that many of you are looking forward to these features, especially engineering gameplay, but rest assured that we're committed to pulling these back in as soon as possible. Meanwhile, several features that were planned for 4.0 have been pulled forward into 3.24.2, such as the new vehicle HUDs and MFDs, additional player customization, multi-tool updates, RMQ network updates. All of those were far enough along for them to bring them to us sooner rather than later. Additionally, the addition of the resource network allowed them to partially deliver on some of the core engineering gameplay functionality in the form of the updated power management MFDs, with more to come. I do understand what CIG is saying there. They've obviously brought some content forward to meet the deadline of having Alpha 4.0 released by the end of the year. They're having to delay some features though. They're having to push some back. And it's a big portion of some of the more important content that was in 4.0. If it's not ready and needs longer to cook, yeah, that is just the way it is. Looks like 4.0 is on track to be released by the end of the year still, but without those exciting multi-crew and engineering gameplay features. This still leaves 4.0 with a load of content, but it really was the largest slice after pyro jump points and server meshing that was pushed back, unfortunately. We still have contested zones, new missions, space cows, a huge amount of new gameplay area, locations, asteroid bases, factions, and more, but it is still disappointing. I did talk to some devs at CitizenCon about potential slips and delays in some of these features, and it aligns with what was said here. Engineering and those missing features, I believe, are still planned for 4.0.x, so a .x patch rather than 4.1 or something. So it's still part of the 4.0 patch cycle is what I'm saying. So not too long to wait, but we're still talking Q1 2025, that sort of thing. Hopefully earlier in that Q1 cycle though. I am disappointed, but I suppose you have to ask yourself, would you prefer 4.0 to be delayed for them to get these other features in, or would you want them to push it even though those features are incomplete or really broken and buggy, or to have those features coming a bit later but releasing this patch with the content that it has? Obviously, engineering and those other features super important. CIG very keen to get them in game as soon as sensible. Yeah, tell me what you think about that in the comments below. Star Citizen 1.0. CIG had a big statement about this because this is their next big thing. Following the reveal of Star Citizen 1.0 at CitizenCon 2954, we're excited to introduce a new addition to the release view in the public roadmap. This column outlines the high-level objectives for the 1.0 persistent universe, offering a clear vision of where we're headed. While it's not a comprehensive list of every feature, it highlights the core goals that will shape the 1.0 experience. This new column represents our development journey towards 1.0, allowing us to continuously release features and content ahead of and leading into the official 1.0 launch. As features and content are completed and ready for the next live patch, they'll migrate from the 1.0 column into a dedicated patch-specific column. This approach lets us deliver regular updates to the live servers while giving you a clearer picture of what to expect from the 1.0 experience overall. There is an absolute ton of content in 1.0, or should I say, coming by 1.0, because as CIG outlined there, 1.0 is a goalpost of when all these 1.0 features are in, we consider 1.0 to be released, and that will mean no more resets. That is the main thing that 1.0 as a milestone means. Everything will then matter, it will have consequences and progression, but each of these features may well come before 1.0's actual launch, and it is not a roadmap to all features. There is other stuff that's going to obviously be coming out between now and 1.0's launch. Also, we don't know how long it's going to be for 1.0 to actually be released. 3 years? Question mark? The list of 1.0 features is pretty extensive now, though. We've got 5 star systems: Stanton, Pyro, Nyx, Castra, and finally Terra. We've got crafting, allowing for a huge range of items to be made using resources, fabricators, and blueprints. Base building, which is sort of part of this, including maintaining bases, resource generation, commerce, customization, the vehicles and drones to be able to build bases, and that sort of top-down view for doing it. Player space stations. This is just a massive version of base building, I suppose, with space stations that are player-made. Station warfare, where player organizations battle over multiple ground and space locations to gain the protection of planetary shields in lawless star systems, but potentially some other rewards. Planetary shield tech is part of this, which provides maximum protection for ground locations, including player bases from hostile attacks. They are adding a main story, so takes you through the Star Citizen experience, a nice handcrafted story with unique challenges and rewards. It also gets you into sort of all the different types of gameplay and all the different systems and the lore and the story and all that sort of jazz. And there's going to be location stories as well, narrative arcs set in specific areas, allowing players to experience the uniqueness of various locations in the verse. There's going to be ways to earn citizenship in-game, and we know that's going to allow you to buy land claims and get transferable warranties, things like that. There's going to be a new law and security system. There's going to be content instancing for both existing and new content, allowing it to be instanced for more crafted group gameplay and experience. There's building interiors for more expansive gameplay at points of interest and landing zones, utility tunnels, the municipal works, the depths. So this is sort of like MMO dungeons, different versions of contested zones. You've got Genesis, so this is a whole suite of stuff. Planet Tech V5, improving all that planet tech, making the planets, the generation of them, the way they look and everything much, much better. Dynamic weather, so real-time simulation of weather fronts on a planetary scale, including rain, wind, lightning, thunder. Starchitect, massive amounts of clustered points of interest and locations on planets. Global illumination. Dynamic server meshing, so this is MMO player counts at scale. The ability to spin up and down little areas as their own servers nested within other servers that are all meshed together. StarSim, which is kind of the dynamic universe, simulating the state of the universe and the economy, and dynamically responding to players' actions, building missions for that sort of stuff. Star Audio, a new suite of tools and tech aimed at improving the quality and fidelity of sound in Star Citizen. Player organization features, these have been much needed for many, many years, implementing the ability to create and fully manage player organizations, including a dedicated Mobiglass app and tons of features and permissions and stuff like that associated with that social Mobiglass app as well, with friends and contacts. guilds with an expanded reputation system, missions, rewards, and gear all associated with that. Just tons of ways to get into different types of missions and build rep with them. They're expanding out player professions, so there's things like builder, crafter, explorer, athlete, and more. Starware's kind of part of this as well, for allowing a combination of clothing and armor pieces on characters, but also giving full-on stats to all of these different armor combinations and set bonuses, and going, you want to specialize in stealth? You can. Player-to-player trading, the ability for players to set up their own shops and sell wares to other players. Not sure if there's going to be an auction house yet. I would hope there is, or at least some wider trade system. AI Blades, a new vehicle component enabling to automate operations of various aspects of ships and vehicles, such as turrets. This will enable solo players to run larger ships and more easily without NPC crew, because NPC crew are coming. They're just not a feature of 1.0, it seems. Death of a Spaceman. This will forever raise the stakes in the persistent universe, as it adds the ability for your player character to incur permanent injury or even death. Permanent injury is an interesting one. This is obviously juxtaposed with insurance, taxes, and warranty, systems that handle medical item and vehicle insurance and associated fees, as well as mechanisms to retrieve lost or destroyed vehicles. So we know there's going to be like death tax if you do die, but there's also going to be various levels of medical insurance, which we don't know exactly what levels they're going to be. If you pay enough in-game credits, maybe you are pretty much protected from player death. We'll have to wait and see. Ownership was an interesting one here as well. A robust ownership system for items, vehicles, and more, including the ability to transfer ownership both legally and illegally. So you will be able to sell your ships and vehicles, and there will be some robust permission systems. Interested to see how they're going to have you transfer ships that are on your account, so you've bought with real money, in-game to another person if you sell them for in-game credits. Boom! That's your updates today. Awesome features for 1.0. Really glad that they've sort of laid that out, and during CitizenCon they thoroughly described a lot of the stuff like with insurance, though they haven't really gone into the depths of medical insurance yet, and I think we need a few more updates on Death of a Spaceman and that sort of jazz. And things like Star Sim and the dynamic universe stuff is quite vague at the moment. I am really interested to know though, are you excited for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo and those new ships and vehicles? Are you disappointed with the 4.0 feature delays, but actually you are like, no, it's fine as long as they get pyro and this stuff in there, as long as it comes soon after, you're okay with that? Is it just another delay in a long line of delays? Do you think 1.0 for Star Citizen is going to retain those features, or do you think some of them are going to get entirely reprioritized and go, actually, we don't need location stories, or we don't need a way to earn citizenship in games? I don't know. Do you think all of that stuff will be there and more? Obviously, some of it should be coming before. I did talk to a dev at CitizenCon, and they did say as well that it doesn't preclude them 1.0 from making more star systems than 5 and including in that by the time 1.0 launches, which I thought was interesting as well. I am really interested to know what you think. Please tell me in the comments below. Also, you want to listen to this potato header fella about getting NordVPN, use the links below, help support the channel, click on the join button, all that sort of jazz. A very long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, CIG had taken over the development of NordVPN. And at NordCitizenCon, the yearly Nord FanFest, they were releasing their first game, Squadron Nordy 2. It's amazing, and it would truly revolutionize the FPS industry. Then I woke up and realized that NordVPN is already great and released, and it doesn't need an FPS module, it's a VPN. And you should get it now, links below, discount. Helps channel, read bullet points. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For October, it's for a Drake Corsair with a game package and lifetime insurance. All you have to do to be in for a chance of winning that lovely Star Citizen access and ship that can be used for exploration, but it's also this cool little multi-role, multi-crew ship. You just need a comment on any of our videos made during October. That will go into the hat. It's not a hat, it's a spreadsheet. It goes into that, and then a random person is chosen. With the addition of Alpha 4.0 and Pyro, there's going to be tons more to see and explore. The Corsair is perfect for that. Good luck. Please consider supporting the channel as well. We've got the join button under our videos that will make you a channel member. That goes a long way in supporting the channel, as does becoming a Patreon. It's pretty much the same thing, but for different mediums. You can also like, comment, share, or sub, things like that. That all helps with the channel hugely. Thank you so much for your support and watching, and I hope you have a great October.